Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you feeling tonight? It's so hot in the room, right? Yeah, I think the mic is getting very nervous, so we change another mic, right? Okay, before I start my sharing for tonight, just want to check that anyone that I think for the first time in my life, so few of you. You mean the rest of you that actually I've seen you for many times already, multiple times, or you just refuse to put up hands? Well, I think we have a amazing crowd tonight, right? You know, we are having a meeting over here, right? Because it's just the overflowing crowd for tonight. You know, we have in fact another 2 rooms. They're doing a live broadcast. Shall we give all these people one more applause? It's always very excited to come back to Singapore today, right? It's just as usual. I think Singaporeans are very cool. Yeah. So whatever I ask, you never answer, right? You know, today is a very special day. There's so many people, right? Today is Friday the 13th. Very special, right? So I was planning for my speech, my slides, you know, last night. You know, I recall back last time I speak over here was 1 year ago on 14th of April. It was also on Friday. But just happened that today, this Friday is on the 13th of April, right? Which is what you call it, Friday the 13th. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's supposed to be a lucky day, right? Yes. You know, when the organizer asking me about a date, a possible date of sharing in Singapore, I said that probably on the 2nd Friday of April, but I didn't know it's the 13th. Friday the 13th. Right. I have got 2 weeks ago that I realized it's Friday the 13th. Then they say it's an unlucky day. You know, I say, no, it's not true, right? In fact, because it's very difficult for them to invite people to come up. I say exactly because it's unlucky they do not want to come up, but they will come to my seminar. Right, there's the power of positive thinking, right? Right, because they do not want to go out, so there's more opportunity for them to come to my seminar tonight. Why? Because if you come here today, right, I probably can share with you some of the tips of building wealth, right? Just before I want to start the sharing, I think we see a lot of new faces over here tonight. You know, just a quick check. Anyone here not from Singapore? Not from Singapore. Because there's a lot of faces like don't know from which country. All kinds of different faces, right? It's interesting always to be in Singapore with all different types of people in Singapore. Well, I think I want to share a little bit about myself, right? My name is Rayne. Rayne is R-A-Y-N-E, not R-A-I-N. I came from Malaysia, getting involved in this platform, this business for the last 17 years. This is my 18 years in business. I started way back when I was 18 years old, 28 years old. I wanted to, you know, if it's 18 years old, I got a chance, I will join. I don't even want to study. Just joking, huh? So I started at the age of 28. Starting from Singapore, and of course, eventually I expanded my business to almost like 2 countries. Right, my tongue's a bit twisted because I just came back from Beijing. So I have a weekend seminar speaking to about 2,000 people in Chinese, in Mandarin. So you know, today they asked me to speak in English, so I don't know how to twist my thinking also from Chinese to English. So if you want more applause, actually help me. So as I prepare for my slides for tonight, I was thinking of what to share with you, right? Because 17 years is a long time, right? So what are the things that actually I wanted to share with you through this journey? Because 17 years, there are a lot of things I can share with you. But honestly, I find the very nice topic or title tonight, right? I think through the New Skin platform is to discover the best me. You know, when I first started the business, I just wanted to start a business opportunity. But, you know, I realized that, you know, over the years, right, I transformed myself, not in terms of financially, but I think that I look even better now today, right? Yeah, this year I'm 46 years old, so it's almost 50 years already. So I'm always looking forward, you know, when I'm 50, 60, 70 years old, by the time I, you know, but by then I still believe that I can still make good with the new scheme. Do you think so? Right, so I'm going to share a little bit about my story. I think I give you some background already, right? And of course, my first career was in financial planning. Straight after I graduated from school, I never worked for people in my life before, because before I graduated from school, I actually read this book about Rich Dad Poor Dad. You know, anyone of you actually read this book before? I think quite many of you, right? I read the books. Basically, in the book it mentioned that jobs are just over broke. So I don't want to be broke, right? So I never thought of, you know, getting a job, right? Until today, I do not know how to write a resume. So here I do have a new skin. Otherwise, nobody is going to employ me, right? You know, so, you know, first career was actually in financial planning. Why? Because I do not want to look for a job. You know, nobody will reject you by applying insurance as an insurance agent, unless you are not qualified, right? So, you know, it's easy for you to qualify as an insurance agent. So I was the first job or the first career, the first profession, I was in the financial planning for almost like 4.5 years. So that was the photo that was taken way back when I was 27 years old, almost like 20 years ago, in one of the motivational training. Like every time when I look at this photo, I was like looking, wow, I really look very mature when I was younger. You think so? Or either that my previous industry is so spread, right? So it makes me look so much older compared, right? Or I mean, at the age of 37, can you imagine that if I continue to be in the industry for fast forward for 20 years, I cannot imagine how should I look right now, right? So I was there for about 4.5 years, coming to 5 years. The reason why I was in insurance, because, you know, I wanted to do my own business. But for 4 years over there, I realized that I did achieve some success, but I realized there are a lot of limitations in financial industry. As you know that being a financial planner in Singapore, right, I cannot build my business in a global scale. Right, that's one thing. And second thing, being involved in the financial industry, a lot of financial products, financial instruments are very much regulated. So no matter how good you are, how capable you are, or how good network you have, you realize that there's a lot of restrictions. So I was there about 4.5 years. I realized that I cannot really expand my business. You know, I cannot scale my business because I'm basically self-employed. Right. So at the point of time, it was 1999. Remember, end of 1999. Right, close to about year 2000. So what happened is actually Singapore government actually opened up direct selling or MLM industry, or network marketing called today. Right. So for most of us over here, right, including myself, right, we never thought of MLM as a profession or as a business opportunity, because, you know, we always think of MLM as something that not very desirable. Am I right? Yes, no. Right. I think, but none of us over here in this room will think that we want to embrace MLM as a profession, as a professional. Right? It's almost impossible. But I open my heart and understand about it, because why? The Singapore government actually opened up the industry and make it a legal business model. So this is something that amazed me a lot, right? Despite the fact that a lot of people feel that this business model was like very ambiguous, you know, and very controversial also, right? So by the point of time, I was thinking in the back, you know, of my mind, I was thinking that why did the Singapore government open up the industry? It's not good. And for any of us today, right? I don't know why you're here tonight. Probably I invited some of the friends to understand about this possible platform. For me, it's the same thing, right? When I get exposed to about opportunity, I ask myself, right, if this is doable, and there's potential, right, probably I'll make a decision to jump into this business opportunity. But this could affect my, you know, my whole life, and including my family members, right? But as a government, as a country, right, any decision making for government could affect the whole citizens in Singapore. Okay, so if something that's so undesirable, right, whether economically or socially, right, I do not think they will make a decision to open up industry. Am I right? So I'm very logical, right? Despite the fact that emotionally, a lot of people told me about negative, negative emotion about this industry, and a lot of so-called scams, right? But I keep an open mind because I realized that I think Singapore government is quite efficient. I came from Malaysia, right? So when I make comparison, I see that they still make quite a lot of wise decisions, right? So basically, I think that if the government open up, that means there are a lot of opportunities, right? So there was a time about almost like 9 years ago, right? I have no idea of running a business, honestly, but I know that, right, if the government open up, that means there must be opportunity. So I started to think, right? In fact, you realize that any decision that we make, right, we must always have a vision. Vision means that something that you don't see right now, but be able to, to visualize it 5 and 10 and 20 years and 30 years down the road. So I start to ask myself, right, what would happen when this industry started to open up? Well, I know that as a consumer's decision, right, there will be a lot of providers, MLM providers, are actually coming up with a lot of options of their products. So some of the consumers started to change their behavior of consuming, right? In the past, you realize that they'll probably go to the shop, right, and buy products. But today, you realize that there could be through word of mouth from people, using the product as a consumers. As you all know that, right, if there are people using the product, there are a lot of consumption. There must be some people making money. You agree? Right, whether you like it or not, there's producers, there are people who are producing, which are making money. There's the other end, or spectrum, which is consumer who are spending money. You agree with me? Right, and I also agree that, right, if that is the case, the product is good, right, there will be more and more people actually starting to use the product through this medium, this channel, right, which is MLM. And as a result, right, there will be some profit per share, right, to the people who are actively spreading the brands, sharing the products. And I'm also aware that, right, in order for me to become successful in the long term, the partner and company, they must be able to stay for a long period of time. So when we think about MLM today, right, including until today, 17 years later, right, we never thought of doing MLM as a long-term solution. Right, many people could have tried the business before, tried MLM before, right, and many of them actually they failed. And one of the main reasons is because the company is not designed to stay for long term. They come and go. Right, as a result, we realized that, we cannot achieve success. So I started to think, right, if I'm going to be successful for the next 10, 20 years, if I make a decision, right, the brand that I'm partnering with must be able to withstand all pressures of competition. Right, as I grow older, they probably become the top 3 brands in the industry. Then I can make money. Right, if I continue to work very hard, if the brand disappears, so I probably spend 5, 10 years, I will not become an eventual millionaire. I thought in that way, in 17 years ago. I did not think that because the product is good, I just started the business. Because business is business, product is product. Right? If the product is good, you can just choose to be a consumer. But when you look at it as a business, then it's totally different. So that's exactly what I thought. A lot of friends asked me, in the early days when I first started the business, they asked me, why do I have the kind of courage whereby you don't see anything yet? This is a very common question. I mean, many of my friends told me that you have a lot of other better things to do. I said, what other better things to do? Because I really cannot find any other better things to do. That's why I come to this game. Right? Why? Because why such a different kind of opinion? Right? So looking back 17 years later, I realized that I have in-depth research of what is this business all about. But for a lot of people, you realize that they just hearsay. Right? So when you hearsay, you look at the people who are actually involved in the business, you ask them to seek for advice. Many of them, you realize that they're not professional and they were not successful at all. So many times you realize they seek the wrong opinion. Right? And this industry has been in the US for more than 50 years. And they've created so many success stories. So that's my background, and they justified on why I want to make a decision. In fact, on the first day, I decided to build a business. I want it full time. Don't forget that I was in my previous industry for about 4.5 to 5 years, meaning that I still have some, vested interest, right? But for me, I think that's not important. For me, is that if I make any decision is not to serve right now, it's to serve the future. So I was in this journey, right? My first day, it was very tough because the whole industry, the whole country, or until today, right? A lot of people, in fact, realize that they look down on this industry. Socially, people are not accepted. If you have doctors, or surgeons, lawyers, right, you give them the name card. I'm a lawyer. They look up to you. Wow, lawyer. like very sad, right? But if you show them you are doing MLM, they were like, it's very normal. Just like 30 years ago or 40 years ago, when you tell people you are selling insurance, you're an insurance agent, people look at it like, it's like not very socially acceptable. But there are a lot of people who are making insurance too in financial planning. You agree? Right? So it takes time for people to understand about new things, to digest, right, before they convert into actions. So I made the decision because I already saw the vision, what is possible for the next 10, 20, or even longer term, 30 to 50 years down the road. But when I started New Skin, it was tough because New Skin started with only skincare products. There's no healthcare, right? As today, you see a lot of the superstars, the superstar, the catwalk, right? Can we give them one more applause? Because all these are not models, right? They were just, some of them are our customers, some of them are actually our business builders. Because actually good testimonials to the product. In those days you realize that we do not have this kind of product. We only have skincare product. Right? So over the years, I built a business. I realized that one good thing, the side effect of getting involved in new skin business for too long. Right? In fact, you become younger and you look better. There are a lot of business you get involved with, right? There's some hazard, some challenges to your health. But in New Skin, right, if you look at the people who are involved in the business for more than 5 and 10 years, they actually look even younger compared to when they first started the business. Right, I'm a true testimonial over here, right? I never do any operation before. Everything is original, right? So fantastic. This is really what do you call it? I came because of making money, honestly, to tell you the truth, right? So this is all the extra. The positive things that I get along the way. So when I first started, New Skin started skincare. It was tough because I have no health care. For health, that's probably for men. It's easy for us to connect or relate, right? But for skincare products, I don't think so. You agree? Because there are only 26 item products. It's either skincare or personal care. Right? Many times people ask me that, Rayne, you're so capable. Looking back, they tell me that you're so capable. Anything you do, you will do well, right? I say that's not true, right? If I'm trying to sell skincare, I think this is probably the toughest job, But why is it that I still, going full force? Because I saw the opportunity behind the products, right? Many of us realize that we are being scared off by the appearance, by the surface, right? But to me, at the time when I do in-depth research about the potential of the industry and the business in the long term, I don't mind the challenges at the beginning, right? As I started using the New Skin product, right? All the leaders told me that New Skin products are fantastic, all the good, none of the bad. When I started using New Skin product, all the pimples come out, all of the bad, none of the good. Yeah, all just came out. You look at this photo, right? In fact, the pimples actually coming out on the mouth, my lips also was pretty bad, right? Can you imagine a gentleman like me trying to promote skincare products to you and telling you that our products are all the good ingredients and none of the bad ingredients? How many of you will trust me? Right. That's why I always, feel very grateful for some of the very early batch of people who believe in me, because it's too good to be true. Right? Can you imagine a gentleman with such a face, complexions, and reaching out to you and telling you that this is a great product and it's at the same time a great opportunity? Can you believe it? So don't trust that, right? I'm the best candidate to become successful in New Skin. It's not true. Right? Everybody have challenges, everybody have problems, because none of us actually equipped in terms of skill set to build any business, including in New Skin business. I was born, I used to major in economics. So basically, I'm quite well versed in financial, but definitely not for skincare. But I persisted. Why? Because I know the future. And I believe the product is good. Because I'm not the first one to try. Right? When I started New Skin in Singapore, right? New Skin has been around for 17 years. In 31 countries, and some of the countries are doing very well, like Japan and Korea, they're doing very well. Right? So I trust that if they are doing so well in such countries, established countries like Japan and Korea, it's not easy for them to penetrate for foreign brand, right, from US. So I know the price is good, right? I don't have to be a skincare specialist to understand about ingredients, but the numbers tell. Right? So for many people who started the products, we realize that if they have some slight reaction, they'll probably have to give up the business. You agree with me? I know some of you are our customers. Yeah, you buy over here, probably you try our TR90 product. Or some of you try our H.Duo product, right? And some of you realize that after you use the product, you may not have immediate results yet, right? And probably some of the referrals, your upline can tell you that, no, this is a good business. You say that, let me try and see how the product works. Right? If it's good, then I share with people. Agree? Right? These are common people. Right? Common people, you have common results. You know what are uncommon people? Uncommon people is like me, right? Haven't seen the goodness of the product yet, right? For 3 to 6 months with this kind of face, still talking to people about how good the product, how good the business is. So I deserve to become successful. Right, so this is my story. As you can see that today, right? Right, this was when I was being recognized as $1 million Saigon members way back in 2003. This is a great company, right? I don't know about you. Some of you probably are running your own business, right? Running business, you realize you're looking for profit and make money, right? But in fact, you realize in running a new skin business, you achieve 1 million, 5 million, 10, 20 million, income, right? Actually, a professional photographer to take a professional photo and recognize it on stage. I know for some of you are conventional businessmen, I know this is almost impossible. In Malaysia, a lot of people want to get a lot of titles like Datuk lah, Tan Sri lah, right? Because people need to be recognized. Right? Recognition is very important for a lot of people. We need to be recognized. But the traditional conventional businessmen realize that we could have making a lot of money, but we are not being recognized. So in fact, to me, recognition is not important, honestly, because I come in to make money. Right? I'm coming to make money. But this is again an extra for me. So I was told that I make the first $1 million US. So the company want to take a professional photo, right, to be recognized on the stage where they have a wall of fame, showcase your photos. So that was the best version of me in 2003. Right, at the time I was born in the year of 1972, so I was 29 years old. Is it? 30, almost 30, like about 30 years old in 2003. And the other photo you can see that was in 2012 when I was being recognized as US $30 million Saigon members from 1 million to 20 million, right? Almost like 10 years time gap. But if we look back, which photo is actually younger? Huh? So I think it's quite obvious, right? Okay, let's assuming that, right? If you try to see people around you, right? Some people who are running business, right? If they started to make $1 million US, then subsequently they start to make $20 million US. You try to observe how they look. So I say that if you understand about this business opportunity, it's just about making money. You did not see the many values of the new skin business, right? In fact, you realize that to make money, right? Everywhere you can make money, right? If you work very hard, you realize that it's possible for you to make money. But in new skin, you become a better version of yourself after some years. So until today, I realize that I'm very grateful because I keep in just want to make money. But today, I realize that I become a better version of myself, right? Well, why is it that I have the big courage? Because using products and doing the business full time, commitment is totally two different things. Agree? Right? So a lot of times you realize that it takes a vision for you to have the courage. Because at the beginning stage of building any business, you realize you don't see anything yet. Not like an employment, you're having a job, you realize that at least you have fixed income. Whether you work or you don't work, you still have income. Right? Yeah, sometimes in Singapore people it's mixed in the company, but you can still have the fixed income. Right? But over here in your skin, you realize in the early stage your income is very low when you first started. Right? So why do I have the kind of courage? Basically, I think I'm very rational when I first started, and I do a quick analysis. I realized that what are the things that I saw in your skin. The first I saw is that it's risk and it's proven platform. Because when I first started, right, this company has been around for 17 years. Okay, actually this year we are 34 years old. Right, when I first started this with New Skin, some of the people who are very, very mature or very experienced in MI industry, they told me, you shouldn't join New Skin. I said, why? Because New Skin is not New Skin anymore, it's old skin. because it's already been around for 17 years, right? They already opened 30 old markets. To be honest, lucky I never listened to any one of them. Because the people who told me, all these people, right, all these people that told me about this are people who are get involved in MIM. They keep changing company. Right? Every 2 years they change another company. Every 2 years they change another company. Until 17 years later, I see none of them become successful. None of them become successful. So my reasoning in joining the business, I want to have a proven track record because I don't want to waste my time. I want to see that over the years, right, there's a lot of proven success stories, and the company can actually deliver. So when I saw this new skin platform, I saw that the first thing is proven platform, right? It's risk-free. I want to build my own business, but I said, I don't bear any risk. The company carry the stocks, right? They build out all the infrastructures. Everything is all provided by them, and everything is free. I just need to build my business. Right? So it's so easy for me. The second thing is about global limitless opportunity. In Singapore, right? Singapore is very small. In my time in building the business, there were only 2.5 million population 10 years ago. Today, we've gone almost down to about 5 million population. Right? So 5 million, you realize that whatever you do, if you're top in Singapore, you only service 5 million people. That's it. That's the top. Right? Whatever you do is the same. If you are doing in Singapore, if your market is only in Singapore. So when I get to know about new skin, or people looking, there's a skincare company or MIM company, I saw it as a possibility, a platform for me to build a global business in Malaysia. That's how I saw it. So over the last 17 years, indeed, starting from Singapore, right, I'm able to have network business in over more than 20 other countries. Right? The third reason why I get involved in new skin is because I see the possibility of residual, exponential passive income, and building up cash flow. See, for most of us who are working, right, we are making active income. It means once you stop working, we do not have income. Right? So I recognize that in a very early stage, you realize that building up cash flow is very important. Right? There are many ways for you to build cash flow. But one of them, you realize that by building a business to create a cash flow, it's not easy. It's really something that's very amazing. And talking about residual, it's almost impossible for a lot of jobs to do. Right? Just like my previous industry in insurance. As I accumulate more customers, what I accumulated was actually residual experiences and residual works. Because I still need to service them despite the fact that I only get commission for 5 years. Are you getting me? So if you got 1,000 customers, I cannot say I couldn't service them anymore because I stopped receiving commission. It's already more than 5 years. I can't do that. So the same hard work that I put in the platform, but you realize that I'm accumulating more residual works. Right? Works translate to negative income. Agree? Right? So a lot of things that we do today, you realize that it's difficult for you to do what you do one time, you get residual benefit for the rest of your life. It's almost impossible. So when I saw new skin, I realized that this is something that's possible. There are some talented people in this world. You realize that they're able to get residual income, like Elvis Presley, descendants, because he passed away, right? Or some of the famous authors, you realize that you write a book for once, you realize they collect royalties for lifetime, right? These are all very talented people, but I don't think I'm so talented compared to them, right? So when I saw new skin, I realized that this is possible. I only build it for one time, build up the channel, I'm able to reap the fruits, benefits for lifetime. So these are the three reasons that give me a lot of confidence in embarking, in starting this journey. Well, why I say that the track record is very important, right? When I don't know the founder of news, honestly. They started in the US 17 years ago when I started. I don't know personally, but how do I trust that it's a reputable company? Because they're a public traded company, New York Stock Exchange. They're very transparent. Whether they're making money or not making money, at least I'm able to access a lot of information, right? So I feel safe by working with this platform. And top hyper growth company, they have proven themselves for the first 10 years in the business, right? They do a retail volume of close to about $1 billion. A good track record to prove that, right? They can move very fast because I don't want to waste time, right? I want to accumulate wealth in a faster pace, right? I want to work with a partner that is aggressive. Not those companies, the partner you realize that they're very conservative, then the rate of growth is very slow, right? So they are rated by done investment 5A1, highest rating ever. Any company, right, in terms of financial soundness, right? Forbes actually rated them in the 100 most trustworthy companies. I don't know about you, right? In any partnership you go into, Will you look for a partner that is trustworthy, or you're looking you can partner with a lot of comment? You know why a lot in MLM, right? Why a lot of people fail? Because there are just too many con men in the industry. This is so true because it's not so much regulation. Right? The regulation, there's not a lot. Even the regulator do not know how to regulate. Yeah, that's a problem. Right? So we need to self-regulate ourselves. So when I saw all these track records and the statistics, I'm convinced that, right, as long as I'm committed to work very hard, the provider will not cheat me, right, in terms of product quality and innovation. They can continue to create new products so that I'm able to expand the market. If I'm able to build a network, right, I know that there's integrity to pay me, right, every dollar and cents. So I'm lucky in a way that today a lot of people think that, wow, I'm doing so well, right, in the network marketing business. And well, I work very hard. But I can say that the biggest credit goes to my partner, right, my provider, the principal. Because whatever I can do, how hard I can work, if they play me out, I got nothing. So if you ask me what's the biggest, right, in terms of doing business together with New Skin, at the point on the first day I started the business, I saw the potential risk. That's why I want to check out whether the company can last long enough for me to continue to reap the fruits for lifetime. So my bet was correct, basically. Right? It was because it's not a new startup. You all know the new startup cannot, 99% of the new startup cannot last for the first 10 years. So I do not want to wait my first 10 years to deal with, to partner with the new startup. Right? The probability is too low. 10 years later, I'm getting older and I have no more energy. Until today, right, based on a compensation plan, the rewards program, every 3 days, the rate of growth is speed right now, right? Every 3 days, they create $1 million economy. It means $1 million US earners. When I first started, those days, you realize that it's not so fast. But because of the compounding effect, it's getting faster and faster. Well, we have until now created $1,397 million economy members. And some of them have beyond more than $30 million US dollars. And we haven't stopped yet, right? And these are all in cash. I know there are some of the companies today in the world, right? They also create a lot of millionaires, thousands of millionaires by company going listed. And you just happen to be the company early, right? So you have the opportunity. But many of us realize that we may not have the kind of opportunity to meet the kind of founders, right? But for New Skin, you realize that the content is fair. Everyone is equal opportunity, right? So that is the reason why I find I have the opportunity. So I started the business with the belief, of course, and eventually realized that I prove it, that it can be done, not only myself, right? And my success can be duplicated, in fact. So over the last, 17 years, right? Not only in our region in Southeast Asia, but including China, there are a lot of success stories being created. So I love to share the business with a lot of people. Why? Because I realized that my success can be duplicated. Right. Second reason I told you why I get involved in business, global business. Singapore is very small. Right. You must have a global outlook in any business that you do. Right. That's the reason why on the first day when I talk to a lot of my partners, all the partners, right, I make them realize about the positioning, because everything in life is about positioning. Right. Where are you going is the most important. Where are you right now is not important at all. So we position ourselves in my team, right, in ST, right. We are not just doing in Singapore market, right. We can start local. Right, because we have resources over here. But eventually we realize that we must have the foresight and vision to build global business. So that's the reason why exactly, if I'm just doing Singapore market, I will not choose New Skin. You can do any other thing, right? But the reason why I get started with New Skin because I saw the global business opportunity. And I think I'm going to share with you just now about residual income, right? The passive income, the cash flow. Every time when people look into the MLM business model, when people draw circles, right? I don't know whether you get exposed. I suppose yes, after 17 years in the industry started in Singapore, you probably someone have shared with you about MLM before, right? Yes or no? Definitely, probably 1, 2, or 3 times. So every time people draw circles, draw the plan, right? Sometimes we get so frustrated about people drawing this plan and tell you that how much money they can make, right? Yes or no? I don't know about you, right? At least for myself, that I feel that when you draw this, starting from yourself, when you recruit how many people, right? How much money you can make, it's like you're trying to take advantage of other people to make money. Right, that's my first impression, honestly, because we are just not feel comfortable with this kind of rewards program or this kind of profit distribution, right, or profit sharing plan. So as I understand about this marketing business, for my business, right? I begin to study the plan. I realize that there's some logic behind it. Why? Because you are paid by distributing the product. How do you differentiate from an illegal pyramid scheme and a legitimate MLM business? Very simple, right? If any of the scheme that you are being approached and people tell you that they have no product offer, right? You probably invest some certain amount of money. It can be small, it can be big. You start recruit people, and you need to be very wary of this kind of scheme because there's no value added along in the process. But why is New Skin different? When I saw this, even though that it's the same content that being presented, I saw it differently because of the product movement, right? Because of the product movement, you realize that you add values to the customers, and that's how you started to build a network. There are some consumer level people who are using the product, they're not active in the business, and there are some people who realize that they become very aggressive in building the network. In fact, I realized most of my leaders, right? Actually, today you can see some of them on stage early on. Almost 90% of them started off New Skin business because they started with product first. Almost 90%. I'm the rare one. Right? I started using the product because I want to do the business. Are you getting me? Right? There's no wrong or right in terms of the approach, but the most important thing is you must see. Why is it that New Skin over the last 17 years we can continue to grow? Right? Because the fundamental is the product. Because only the products is good, the business can stay for long term. If it's just based on pure recruitment game, right, you cannot last. Right? So when you understand about the logic behind it, right, and building up the network, and each of your executive, we call executive, just like a franchisee. And each franchisee is like a 7-Eleven, right? 7-Eleven has got about 20 to 30 customers because we are dealing with highly consumable product and repeat seller. Right? People are using every day from head to toe, from toothpaste, right, from shampoo, from health product, from everything. Right? So basically, you realize it's very logical. It's basically if the product is good, right, people are probably switching brand from Colgate or Dali to 824, which is for toothpaste. Right? So a lot of people changing the brand, and this consumption dollar moves to the New Skin people. But what is interesting is over the years when you build a network, right, all this become the long-term property, long-term assets. Okay, so if you look at this graph, right, it is just a sugar. But if you are able to make all these executives or the leaders have a stable volumes, right, you'll get royalty bonus for the rest of your life. Right, in fact, you have no different compared to collecting rental from properties. But if you want to get renter, right, in Singapore, you realize the property market is very hot, right? You got to buy a property upfront at least 20%, and now government need to pay tax more, right? Before you start to make money, you realize that you have to pay tax already. If you net off the tax, right, in the future plus capital gain, probably actually your profit is not very high. So a lot of people buy property, basically you realize that they want to collect rental, or they hope that in future 10 or 20 years down the road, right, they sell it, they make a capital gain. Agree? And the third reason why people buy property because for own residence, own consumption. Actually, only 3 motives why people buy property. The same thing for, if you understand about New Skin, right, it's exactly the same. Right, there are 3 groups of people. The first group of people came in not have the intention of making money because the products are good, right? They need to use the product. They are consumers. They just want to consume. The second group of people, you realize that what happened is that they build a network, right? They have multiple properties everywhere in the world. They collect the rental income every month. Well, there are third group of people, which is possible also, because your account, right, that means your business account with New Skin, if you build up a network, potentially you can sell this account away. Right? You start from a zero capital, basically zero capital. So if I want to sell my account away today, right, it's worth a lot of money because I can prove my monthly cash flow, right? So it becomes a real business. Interesting, right? But if you don't understand about this, right, you probably think that this is just another MLM business. With drawing a lot of circles. But if the more you understand about how this is being run, it's amazing because it's almost like literally zero capital to start with, but you can scale the business, no limit. Unlimited. Until one day you realize that you really don't want to do already, bo pian. As long as you want to do, you realize that they continue to feed you. So every time I travel, I don't speak that much. I still travel and visit some of the market, I go up and say, many times I travel to China, I say I come here to collect rental. And the rental is very stable. They pay every month. Right? If you really rent out your property, sometimes you have a very bad tenant, right? They travel away, run away. You collect the rental. And this one you realize is self-maintained, maintained very well. How wonderful, right? So this is something that is so amazing, right? Creating your own cash flow by building multiple properties, by just spending more time. Well, this is one graph that changed my life. Right? I'm a very simple person. Okay, I realize that what I want to do, I want to find out where will I be 5, 10, 20 years down the road. So that's the reason why when I first started before I graduated from school, right? I'm very logically find out, right? What can I get if I continue, if I do certain things? Not just purely for money, right? Money, of course, you can make. I believe I can make money. So there are different options for people, right? The first, assuming after we graduate from school, about 23 or 24 years old. By the time you retire in Singapore, it's almost like 65, right? So 65 minus 23, how many years? You all never studied maths before. No. 65 minus 23. Huh? This is a simple one. Behind later, a lot more complicated one. You better warm up right now. Yeah, it's true. Because later one, you realize there's too many zero until you have to, right? 65 minus 23, 42, right? So why the rush getting a job after you graduate? Right? You're going to go into a 42 years plan and a back to zero plan. By the time you retire, everything goes back to zero in terms of employment income. Right? If you are lucky, save, invest, right? Probably you can tie through your retirement. Should you outlive, right? If you live 100 years old, 90 years old, probably you cannot survive. You have not enough income to sustain the lifestyle. That's why a lot of people, they compromise, they have to downgrade themselves after they retired, right? So most of the people, most 90% of people, they choose this path without knowing the risk. And they tell me that this is safest. Wow, that's why I say that people say, people tell me that you look and listen to Rayne, you always brainwash people. I say the biggest brainwash outside. Right? You trust that from primary school, you studied 6 years, 4 years of secondary school, 2 years of junior college, another 3 to 4 years of university. You invested almost 15 years of time. Your parents invested a lot of money. You come out, cannot find a job. And probably you get 3,000. In Singapore, if you're starting pay about 3 to 4K, it's really very good job. Am I right? And assuming you're lucky, you can really go through for the next 42 years, and if the company doesn't go bankrupt, if the company go bankrupt, right, you want to purchase also cannot purchase. This is a perfect scenario. By the time you retire, you only accumulate one thing: experiences in the industry. And some people realize that very sad. You know why? Some industry disappear. It's true, right? You accumulate industry experience for 20 years. Suddenly, the product offering, the industry is not relevant in the marketplace anymore. I don't know whether you've seen this kind of example before in the real life, right? If you have an opportunity to meet with some of the people who are older than us, you have a chat with them, you realize that it's pretty sad, right? They work very hard. It's just that they didn't really understand that why the industry shifts so much. They don't know. They work very hard. So you actually accumulated a lot of experience that cannot convert into monetary, right? Isn't it very sad? And this is 90% of the people. Very scary, right? The second group of people, which is self-employed people, just like me, right? I used to be insurance agent, property agent, doctors, lawyers, and some of these people are the top sales employed people. They have very high income, right? Top architect, top surgeon, right? Top plastic surgeon, largely more money, right? All these people, you realize, makes a lot of money, right? Even a famous actor, singer, all these people make a lot of money. But these people have typically the same thing. Once you stop active, the income will drop. If you are a good singer, one day you realize you lose your voice, cannot sing anymore. It's your life. Right? So that's a risk. Why? Because you're almost not able to replace. You cannot replace yourself. Right? It's the reason why you cannot scale, because you only have 24 hours a day. So when I joined insurance in the early years, right, my boss told me, right, he say the income, sky is the limit. There's no limit in terms of income. But he forgot to tell me time is limited. right? Because time is limited. You realize you need to eat, you need to sleep, correct? So the number of people you can meet is always limited by the number of hours. You can't leverage yourself. So this group of people, you realize that they make a lot of money until you realize that they tired up themselves and they become too skillful and too good, right? They are very fearful to change. Okay, the third group of people, self-employed means stuck, stuck. Okay, the third group of people, conventional businessmen, right? This group of people are people that I respected a lot because I always wanted to become an entrepreneur, but I live it kiasi because I was born in the year of red. You know, red a little bit tikus, a bit otah, right? So all these entrepreneurs, you realize that they really have high risk profile, right? They usually, most of them, the startup, they have no money. They borrow money from bank, will borrow lend them money for sure, right? They'll borrow from their father, mother, or relative to start off with. Then they pay, they get bigger and bigger. They start making more money, going to bigger deals, 1 million to 10 million to 100 million, right? They started to borrow more money from a bank, right? Continue to play bigger and bigger and bigger. And one day you realize that if you stay 30 years or 40 years long enough, you never know. Right? There's a lot of businessmen. You see that today they are pretty good. They're driving Mercedes and all these things, but the next moment of time, anything could have just happened. Because all these businessmen, you realize that many of them, they have liabilities. When the times are good, right, you never know when the tide will turn, the economy will turn, right? If you talk about 3 to 5 years, you are doing good, but doesn't guarantee that you can pull through for 30 or 40 years. So there's always up and down and up and down. But there are some of very good businessmen, they can last for generations. So there's a reason why they would say that, in Chinese they call, right, 百年老店. That means a brand that lasted for more than 100 years. Right, one generation's active years, except for Li Ka-shing. Li Ka-shing just retired for your information. Right, during his interview, I saw his interview, you say, what else do you want me to do? I'm 90 years old. I started working since 14 years old. I've worked almost 80 years. Not enough, eh? Right, he helps the shareholders, right, to contribute a lot of values. The share price of Chong Kong, right, went up a lot, multiple times, helped a lot of shareholders make money. Right, he worked for 80 years. Right, this is Superman. So his nickname is Superman Lee. None of us is Superman. Right, because none of us actually wear our underwear outside. Superman wear underwear outside, right? Do you wear your underwear outside? So we are not Superman. Right, it's not easy to become a Superman, right? So we respect people like Jack Ma. Jack Ma, about 2 months ago, he was being interviewed. You see, he was making a couple of millions dollars, right? He was very happy. He's a happy man. But today, right, every day probably he make millions of dollars. He started to be not happy anymore. Not happy anymore because he got too much stress. Right, he got too much stress. He started to expand, right, and he's so worried that anytime, right, his business or company would just being squeezed out by the competitors. I was asking myself, right, what kind of lifestyle do I want? Because in life, it's not just about how much money you have. Agree? Right? There are a lot of other things that you can do. So I find that I have a small heart also. I don't think I can withstand the kind of boom up, boom up, boom up. Some people can. Well, I think this is minority group of people, and I do not want. Right? I do not want. And some of the businesses are doing so well in this generation. It's difficult for them to pass on. In China today, I spent a lot of time in China. Right? Over the last 10 years, you've learned a lot of successful businessmen. You know what's the biggest worry today? Passing on the business. See, so difficult for you to build out the business. Next moment, you worry about pass on something. Right? Chinese, there's a saying, right? 创业难，守业更难. Building a business is easy, right? But maintaining the business is easy. Because some experience cannot be transferred. Li Ka-shing, why is it that he don't retire? Until today, the son took over, the elder son, right? Interview the elder son. The elder son said, right, he retired, but he's my neighbor. Anytime you can come over. Still worried, of course, right? He has 18 years of experience, he can contribute a lot of things. Right? The other options, when I look into new skin, a typical network marketing model, right, based on a law of compounding. And as the years go by, it becomes more valuable. Right? So this is a typical curve about exponential growth. Right? Exponential growth. But very few people realize it. Right? Or they are able to make it happen. Why? Either the company is not around anymore, or they themselves are not around anymore. that means they give up too early. Right? Literally, so just like that. So when I saw this curve, right, I begin to ask myself, will I get older? Yes or no? Every one of us will get older, right? As you grow older, your vitality will drop. Your energy will drop. Have you ever started to think about what do you need to invest? Right? Given the enough time, 5 and 10 and 20 years later, you become more valuable. Many times you realize that you never think. Right? We always hope to look for another job which pay you more. Right? You keep going into a trap, a bigger trap, a bigger trap. When you have higher income, you realize that you buy bigger property, right? More commitment, nicer car, right? So you keep on trapping, but you never think that by 5 and 10 years later, 20 years later, will you probably make redundant possible? But when you realize I've seen so many before me. People work very hard for 5 and 10 years, right? If maximum, I think 10 years, right? They will definitely have some passive income. Some are very aggressive, they build the business even faster. So this is my example. So when I started to believe in this compounding curve, I started to work very hard. Right? Since you already decided on the direction, why waste time? Right? That's my logic, very simple. So I moved very fast. In fact, I broke a lot of records in New Skin. Right? In fact, for a lot of the company, they also think that it's almost impossible coming from the records are coming from a small country like Singapore. Right? So I tell you, a lot of things is not about right. We can create it. Right? We can create even for Singapore, even for New Skin today. Right? We only a 2.2 billion or 2.3 billion revenue company. It's a mid cap, company. We are quite big in the MI industry, but in terms of listed company in New York Stock Exchange, it's a small medium enterprise, right? So this is something that I find very meaningful, right? Because our success can be duplicated, and we have a similar plan. If you're willing to work very hard, you realize that your boss cannot shortchange you. Sometimes you work very hard, you realize that the boss have a decision whether they want to give you extra bonus or not. Yes or no? Yeah. Some of the things you realize is not measurable, but today you realize that nobody can stop you. If you fulfill the business volume, right, whatever, you can just go up. Nobody can stop you. There's no office politics. Once you achieve it, you just move up, right? So I love the business very much because it can be duplicated and it's fair, right? There's no requirement that you realize that you need a degree or you become a doctor, you can be a PhD. No, everyone can do it. So that's the reason why also people tend to look down in our industry. Why? Because the barriers of entry is low. But why do you look into the positive way? Right, there could be a low barrier of entry for to build a big business. So this is how I look into it when I first started. Well, I always believe that the world needs what we have. The sweetest success is helping others to become successful, right? And we have a responsibility to share. Honestly, today, right, I feel very active in the business. I'm still sharing to a lot of people because I know that there are a lot of people that do not know this possible option to change life. Many people they thought they know about MLM, but they get exposed. And some of the people that I can tell you that people who are doing MLM for 15 years, they don't understand what is MLM. They just think that it's selling product. Well, because by the gesture, by the appearance, it seems that they're selling or sharing your product, right? But they don't know about the accumulation of wealth as they do it, right? If you push for 5 and 10, 20 years down the road, it's very scary, right? So basically, I hope to be able to reach out to more people, understand about the possible option. A new profession we call it. Next slide. Okay. Well, why is that New Skin so special? Right? This is a company that started with $5,000 capital 34 years ago in 1984. Right? With a vision. Basically, their vision is to become the world's leading direct selling company by generating more income for distributors than any other company. Right? And they stick to the vision today, right? And for some of you, I attended our success seminar last month in Kuala Lumpur, right? The company have just announced over past year, in Malaysia, they pay out 1 billion ringgit commission. Can you imagine how many lives have been transformed in Malaysia because of the 1 billion ringgit payout, right? In Singapore, right? For the past year, they also announced that we have paid out more than 400 over million Sing dollars in terms of commission. Amazing. Until today, we have created the most number of millionaires, but this is not our latest vision, right? Our latest vision, this is being announced last year in our global convention with our 3.0 vision, right? To become the world's leading business opportunity platform by paying more commission to our sales leaders than any other company. They have repositioned themselves for the next 10 years, not just a leading direct selling company, but rather an opportunity provider, which are able to embrace more people coming from all walks of life. So later I'm going to share with you why is there a session like tonight, the training session for tonight, because I'm going to touch on what's going to happen right in July to align with this new vision. Okay, and I believe, right, they over the last 34 years, they have kept to their promise, and I always believe that we will be the number one opportunity provider, right, opportunity platform in this group. If you can see the vision today, right, 10 years down the road. Because every time when I try to talk to some of the old friends of mine, they always tell me that, how come last time you never tell me? I said, I tell you, so you got, you know, sometimes you realize you tell them, but they never listen, right? They don't really, I say, you know, it's always like that, right? There's always renewed opportunity, but you need to have you need to chart a new vision, right, for the future. Okay, I'm going to touch a little bit the key topic for today. Right, this is something that is very interesting, right? That will chart the direction of this thing for the next 10 years. So the company is going to introduce a new rewards program called Velocity, right? By the definition of velocity, right, if you check the dictionary, basically it's fast speed in a direction, in one direction, one particular direction. If fast speed in different direction, they end up equalized in the same spot. Okay, velocity means that you balance the fast speed, the rate of speed, right, in a particular direction. And basically, there are three components in this velocity rewards program. The first one is share, right? Share, because you realize that today people are talking about sharing economy, right? Sharing economy has become a very important, I call it a part of the lifestyle today, right? And of course, the second component is about build. Rewarding people who are willing to build the business, building the volumes, and bring in the business. The third component is about lead, right? Lead giving bonus to the leaders in the field, right, who are able to lead the team and organize the resources. So these three major components, right? I want to give you some overview. If you do have to write down, I just want to let you to understand about, right, the essence behind it, right? Because information is always easily accessible in all the website, right? But how do you read the information and translate into opportunity? That's most important. Right? We see news every day. Right? We see a lot of news every day. Sometimes you realize that why certain news or some information translate into opportunity, because you look into things differently. Right? Information is dead. Today you realize that basically a lot of information is accessible almost free. Right? Three parts over here, share. Zero commitment, right? Basically, you realize that if you are distributors or affiliates, you can join for free anyway, right? That's why I say that they have positioned themselves to be a leading business opportunity provider, right? Basically, you realize that they will get a sharing bonus from 5 to 20% of different products have got different sharing bonus, right? So some of the products have got 5% up to 20%. These are the people who realize that we are able to literally embrace everyone. Right? Everyone who realizes that who's keen to make extra income, they can make extra income. In fact, it's better than become a Grab driver. Yeah. The second group is building bonus. Right, building bonus are giving to executive levels and above. Right, in the future we're going to call brand representative. And this group of people, right, they need to qualify themselves. On top of sharing bonus, they're going to have a building bonus up to 40%. So this group of people realize that by actively sharing the business, sharing the product, right, they actually have quite a good income. The third group of people with the leading bonus, right, the same, was almost similar. They're paying up to 6th generation 5%, and 10% and 15%. Right? So this is a bit complicated for some of the newer people, but I'm going to share it in a very simple terms later, illustration. So for share, Basically, you realize that now everyone can do this. Why? Because joining is free, right? In any product they will share, it carries commission. So whether you like it or not, right? If you reject this opportunity, one day any of your direct contacts, indirect contacts, right? Should they want to purchase or use this scheme product, it's got nothing to do with you. But if you happen to be in it, right, and they want it, you realize that you got extra income. Whichly I say that there's nothing to lose. Right? It's everything to gain except weight. Okay? The bidding does up to 40% payout. And what is interesting is that in terms of velocity program, our commissions are being paid monthly in the past until now. Right? In the future, you realize that it's based on weekly promotion. Once you fulfill the volumes, you get promoted the next week. And the next week onwards, you start to get bidding bonus from 5% up to 40%. So as you can see that the speed is getting faster, right? For people who realize that they are willing to put in effort to perform. The last part is the lead bonus, which is why I tend to do this in business, because I'm not interested in selling product. Right? I don't want to give you the wrong message. Right? Selling product is good. You can get good income, active income, but not good enough for passive income. Right? So if you want to have passive income or cash flow, right, you must learn how to build team, right, build network. So I was attracted to the business when I first started because of the 6th generation 5% of leadership bonus. Because from that I know that I can leverage. Right? So with the velocity comp plan, rewards program, they reward people who are willing to work even harder after they have certain achievement. Right? Like after Blue Diamond, if they continue to work, they get 6th generation 10%. Right? And after they become team elite, right, before leadership team, they get 15%. Okay, you may not understand the total qualification criteria, but as you can see that it's a lot of money. Right? Let me show you some illustration. Right? What is the difference between 5%, 10%, and 15%? Can anyone tell me? This one a little bit tricky already. What's the difference between 5%, 10%, and 15%? Huh? If you think linear, the difference is 5% and 10% only, right? The difference between 5% and 10% is 100%. The difference between 5% and 15% is 300%. So for the same effort you put into it, right, you have multiple leverage. So when I know about this velocity program, I think this is crazy. I should be born here now. I'm going to share with you why. Okay, 6th generation 5%. I think most of you, if you are well versed in our comp plan, right, the illustration of our comp plan, we usually illustrate the 5, right? Give me 5, and building 5 executive. So multiply 5, you can count. Perfect duplication. By 6th generation, you have about 20,000 executives. If every executive do 3,000 volumes, you get 5%. That's $150. Right. So in the past, you realize if you are able to build this structure, there's almost like $3 million per month. But some people are very smart. Usually people are very smart and tell me, not possible lah. It's true, it's not easy. But mathematically, you realize that it's possible. Agree? But if we give you long enough time, this generation cannot achieve next generation. It's still possible. But there are a lot of business you realize that mathematically it's not possible, impossible. But this is possible, right? So usually we tell that, no, more conservative, assuming that we talk about extending to 6th generation, just 3 generations. You make good with about 23,000. Just exchange rate stick about 1.7%, which is about $40,000 per month, right? Times 12 months. In 12 months, you realize it's a yearly income of 500,000. I think it's pretty good, right, compared to our job. That was our old plan. So what is the possible of 6th generation 10%? Right, everything will be doubled. So if you are a Blue Diamond today, right, you still want to continue to work. The same effort you put into it, you double your returns. Okay, if you look at just this, right, is MLM program. But if you think about it, many of the people who are doing business today, actually a lot of business as you do longer, the profit margin is getting lesser. If you're a salesperson, you realize that today a lot of sales jobs, right, they require higher volumes, but they give you less commission rate. Same for reminder. Same for a lot of other sales agents today. right? As the volumes requirements are getting higher, but the profit margin, the sales commission is getting less. But probably you can see the new skin is totally different, right? And what's more interesting is that what happens if you become team elite and you still want to work, continue to work. You get 15% on your new executive lines. So when I see this, right, it's literally you realize that you cannot find any business as you grow longer with more experiences and you get paid more. Interesting, isn't it? Right? A lot of industry you realize that when you get more experiences, what happens is that you're replaceable. You're being replaced. So I'm excited about this, and I'll share some of the story with you because I'm in the business long enough. So I see a lot of things happening, right, and happened in the past. This guy was a legend in this game, right, from Japan. He's 70 years old today, right, 24 years older than me. He started when he was about 40 years old, building a business in Japan, about 100 million population. Right, this guy is amazing, really amazing leadership, right? As you can see that he used about 5 years to become 10 million, meaning that he used 5 years to make 10 million US dollars. Look at the speed that he's moving, right? And for 2 years to complete $1 million, right? 2 years from $1 million to $10 million. Scary, isn't it? And just building the business in Japan. Sometimes in Japanese, you realize that it's not easy for them to build a global business because of language, right? They basically focus on the local market in Japan of 100 million population, right? It's amazing, right? And he belongs to the 1.0 leaders, and his accumulation of wealth, income, all come from 6th generation 5%. Can you imagine, right? If this velocity program was introduced during his time, right? If you look at his Blue Diamond, right, Hawaiian Blue Diamond is team elite. I mean, any business that he do from then on is 10 to 15%. So theoretically, right, the rate of speed of accumulation wealth is even faster if he's in the velocity program. But too bad, he cannot reverse. So sometimes doesn't mean that you join early is better. Right? Everything is about timing. Right? So telling about his story, now I tell my story. This is me. Right? To be honest with you, when I first started new skin business, I was not interested in the 6th generation 5%. Because when I started the new skin business, they go into the new skin 2.0. So they started with 6th generation 10%. So reason why I took 5 months to become Blue Diamond and 9 months to become Team Elite, because I was eyeing the 6th generation 10%. Because for the same efforts you put into it, right, you get double the returns. So why people always ask me that how come you become so fast? How you can become so fast, right? Why? Because very strong motivation. Right? If you ask me a lot of challenge, actually a lot of challenges. Right? But you know the carrots in front of you, right? You're willing to put in a lot of effort to make it work. So, again, I also kind of like regret. Because my time don't have 6th generation 5%. So I was doing manual calculation myself, right? If I have velocity program when I started new skin, I could have completed my $20 million in 7 to 8 years. Very simple, right? If you do a calculation, because 9 months I complete my team lead, right? The rest is all 15%. If you're good at maths, you understand what I mean, right? It doesn't require me an additional experience because I went through the path. I have enough experience, right? So that's why the power of velocity, maybe for a lot of new people today, if first day you come, right, you understand about this, you may not understand totally. Never mind, right? But you want to have some idea about it. Just like when I first started, right, I do not know exact details, but I saw the vision and the possibility of the 6th generation 10%. So what is possible in the future, I do not know, right? In the future, I believe that there will be a lot of people, a lot of talented people. Some people have said that, Rayne, you are different, right? You are so talented, you're so extraordinary. And some people say, Kaneko-san is the same thing, right? You think that maybe you cannot become like me, or cannot become Kaneko-san. But is that possible that you are able to sponsor someone down the line? your debt become somebody like Kaneko? Possible? There's one good thing about business is about it's possible because of the power of leverage, right? So basically, and there's no restriction of where you want to build, 6%, 5%, and 10%. One thing that always people ask me about saturation, right? People always ask me about saturation. Actually, on the first day I started the business, I thought about that. Because 525, 125, right, if you continue to count, right, the whole world become skin members already. Or if you know about it, you know what, right, it's true, right? But the true fact is that it's not possible. Right, it's not possible. Right? Christianity has been spreading for 2,000 over years. It's still not saturated yet. You try to go to the church every Sunday. Buddhism has been spreading for 5,000 years. It's still not saturated yet. Right? What I'm sharing over here is to realize that, sometimes, like our business, right? Today I share with you, you probably have different light about our business. But if someone else tell you about what is business skin and MLM about, probably you will reject it. You think that you don't believe it. Are you getting me? Right. So, in this business, like basically, if you are doing a business for global business, how can it be saturated? It's not possible. Right? I'm not asking you to only do in Singapore market. You can do everywhere in the world. But just started from local market. Right? In fact, for China market, right, Skin has just opened for Blue Ribbon and above, starting from this year. I want to show you about China market when I first started. Right, I don't want to share with you a lot of my history. Why? Because what you see today is what I get, right? But actually, you should go back to the origin of what I think before I don't have. Correct? Because if you see what I have today, it's already happened. We want to go back to what happened that I do not have anything yet. Right? How do I create the business? So when we first started in China market, it's the same thing. Nobody could do China before. And MLM was prohibited in China until 2005, when the government started to open up. So there are a lot of challenges in building the business, but we saw the opportunity because of 1.3 billion population. Agreed? But any big opportunity comes along with a lot of challenges, definitely for sure. So as I still remember that in the early days when I started to promote to a lot of my business partners in Singapore and Malaysia, I share with them about this perfect 10 plan. Some people believe me, some people don't believe me. So what I share with them about this illustration is that, for example, this is you. Is it possible for you to find, when you go to China, to find a person that's in building new skin? Possible? It's indeed possible, right? You throw one stone anyhow, also hit one person. Right? Higher chances of dying lottery. Agree? Right? So if you diligently and sharing with them, very passionate, right? I think you are able to convert one person. And this China person, right, being a local, do you think that they can influence 10 people to start using the product and probably some of them being converted to build a business? Possible? Possible? It's possible. Actually, it's possible, right? So in these 10 people, they have another 10 friends also keen to explore the business opportunity and started to build a business. So based on this, I guess you're probably able to count by 6 generations what happened. It's 100,000, 11,000, 1, basically, right? Really one, right? And one sales rep in China, on average, do 20,000 RMB. You get 5%. How much is that? Now it's getting more complicated. I'm testing you. 20,000 RMB times 5% is 1,000 RMB. Am I right? So 1,000 RMB, right? Assuming 1,000 RMB times 100,000, 11,000, 1,100, 111. How much is that? Huh? 100 over million RMB per month. This is crazy, right? I mean, all this sounds too good to be true, right? I say what happened is that we take this number, we just take 10% of this number, which is about 10,000 sales rep that you have. Correct? If it's 90%, that means if it's only you take 10%, that means it's almost like 10 million RMB per month. Right? If it's too much money for you, right? You don't want too much money, I have it to minus 1. Right? Assuming it's only 99%, you strike off 99%, only 1%. How much? Don't know how to count, lost count. It's about 1 million RMB per month. Right? It's about million RMB per month. That means you strike off all the 99% property, left with 1% left, 99% casualty basically. 1% left is 1 million RMB. And don't forget, when I present this plan way back about 14 years ago, the numbers was based on 6th generation 5%. Right? Today, if you are still keen in building the China market, you need to become a blue diamond, then you go to China. So any new lines that you build from China is all 6th generation 10%. So this is the homework for you to go back and do. Right? Because too many numbers, too much numbers, you go back and count yourself. You know why the time I was so excited, right? And some people actually choose to believe me. Some of them are actually on the first row. I think Thomas and Dion is one of the few believers. Can we stand up and let them? I don't know whether they are just too naive or they really understand. I think they are very wise. They really understand. You know, these are our new $1 million account members, right? I think Pauline and Selenium also, right, believe in the China market and they're building a lot of business in China. Today they are US $5 million, right? Henry Ho also spending a lot of time in China. That's, you see, a lot of times you realize that, right, you need to first have a belief. The next step, you realize that the difficult part is you need to persist. Right? I spoke to a lot of people too. But some people, they don't believe. Or some people, they believe, they try for a while, they give up too early. Right? They give up too early. Right? So I always tell people that there's no problem in the market. The problem lies in me. Because I'm not professional enough. I'm not equipped in terms of skill to be able to conquer the market. So if you are equipped, we realize naturally with our products offering, right, there are a lot of demand. Well, this applies to a lot of countries. It can be in India also. If you want to plug China out, you put India. That is also possible, right? If you want to put Indonesia, right? In fact, we have a couple of MDC. I think Joanna today is not here. Joanna started from Singapore, believing in the Indonesia vision. She goes back to Indonesia to build. Today is one of our $1 million account members, right? So these are happening every day. It's the same product offering given by New Skin, same opportunity. It's either you see it or you don't see it. That's called a vision, right? So vision takes time to realize anyway. So some of the potential new markets are going to open for the next coming years, right? I think some of it will be very interested for many of you. Myanmar, right? Myanmar is an upcoming country. Basically, it's Southeast Asia, about 50 million population. You know, any new market, you realize that there's plenty of new opportunities. Even existing markets, we still have a lot to explore, right? I know some of you are from Vietnam, right? Vietnam is almost a new market, about 5 years old, 5 to 6 years old. Vietnam is one of the fastest growing markets today in Southeast Asia, right? With 100 million population. Philippines is 100 million. Indonesia is 260 million population. I can tell you, you cannot finish doing the business. Right? My advice to you until today, right? It's not that I don't have business. I really have no time to do extra business. You know, there are a lot of business. You want to have business, you have no business. Right? This is the business you want to. It's just whether you want to do or not. Plenty of opportunity, right? And Brazil, right? Brazil is Latin America, right? For some of you, if you have some network over here, right? You never know who knows who in Singapore, basically, right? We have all kinds of people in Singapore. Another big market, India, 1.3 billion. For some of you are keen in India, right? You never know who knows who. Right? These are all possible, right? Don't put yourself in just in Singapore. Singapore is just HQ. Just like a lot of MNC, they put the HQ in Singapore, but they're doing a lot of business outside of Singapore. This is how you position yourself in building the business. Well, this is the definition of success, right? Basically, I read somewhere, right? I think it's from Benjamin Franklin, if I'm not wrong. You know, it impressed me a lot about the definition of success. He mentioned about success is the ability first to recognize opportunity, second to form plans and strategy that leverage the opportunity, third to develop the mental skills needed to execute those strategies. So that is the definition of success. Basically, it implies that on the first step, for most of us, right? Recognize the opportunity, we already have problems. And we have recognized opportunity, we keep recognized employment opportunities maybe, that will not solve long-term problems. We need a long-term solution today. Agree? Right? And of course, sometimes you realize that when you recognize a good opportunity, but you need to form plans and strategies. But sometimes you realize that you do not have the kind of gift or talent, right, to leverage an opportunity. The third one is realize that you don't really have a training system being provided to be equipped, right, or to train more people to become equipped to leverage an opportunity to become successful. So the reason why today, in summary, right, it's so difficult for us to become successful. For new skill opportunity, right, basically, can someone help me? I think this is a bit too far. Too many people. Blocked. Too many people. Okay, one-time income or lifetime income, right? There are too many messages tonight, right? You have velocity, you have a lot of things that you have today, right? I think one message I want to send to you, right, in terms of whatever opportunity you are looking right now. Right? Are you still looking for another opportunity that gives you one-time income? Or you want to start to think of opportunity that possibly give you a long-term income? There's a difference in decision making. Right? For new skin, if you know that it's not about just selling the product, but basically you realize that if you build up the business, it's like building a legacy. It's like antique, right? As you grow older, it becomes more expensive, more valuable, right? So this is a business whereby you can build for generations. That means you can even pass on, right? Even though when you pass on, you realize that your kids are not as capable in building the business, it doesn't matter. They continue to draw the income every month. This really is just too amazing, right? Yeah, this is the model that we have. Okay, for some of you, you realize that you're probably interested in a business, but you never run any business before. Or you have run any successful business before, you never run any successful MLM business before. Are you getting me? Because in every trade, in every industry, there are always some learning curve. So we make it easy for you, right? For the last 17 years, we accumulate all our experiences in our top leaders over here, right? Many of them, all these people, they contribute a lot in terms of the whole, business building process, and we create to become a system, right? A support system for people who have desire to build a global business, right? We actually have a structured training program to support this group of people in different stage of their, for their career in this new business. So this has become so easy, right? Compared to when we first started, you realize that we have to look our way. And for we will have this Success Together University we mentioned, right? We brand this called Success Together University. It's an educational program. And I always told all my leaders, right? I told them that all my partners, I told them that what's different between STU and NTU, or Harvard, or Cambridge, right? So whichever famous university you name it, the people, the students who graduated from STU, right? They are already a millionaire. The people who graduate from NTU, they need to start to look for a job. You getting me? Right? Because all the stages that you can see that we went through, right? They need to qualify themselves. This one is Ulia one, Not all the theory that you learn. Subsequently, you realize after you graduate, you throw everything away. These are all practical experiences that we build, and we have tools, right? With all the business support materials, you have tools, right? Even though you realize that if you're inexperienced in building business, but you bring in some good partners, you are not able to train them directly, but you can leverage. Right? Sometimes because of the speed of this business, right, you may not be the most capable one, but you could be able to recruit or share this business opportunity with people who are more capable than you. You may not be able to lead them, but a system can help you. Right? So this is how we structured the system to help more people to be able to build a business, a global business. Well, for velocity, my positioning is very simple. Right? It's the same starting point for everyone. Some people say that it's not fair, we started earlier. And false. Right? If you ask me, right, when I first started the business, I was more aggressive and hungry. Right? For the first 2 years I finished the business, I never go back for Chinese New Year. Right? Now I go back Chinese New Year every year. Qingming also go back. Right? Got time, anytime, got time, go back. What I'm trying to tell you is that, right? Sometimes when you do not have money, you're more hungry. Your level of desire is higher. So that's how, when I relate back when I first started, I have nothing. But at the end, you realize that I created so many records in the company. Why? If you look at me, individual, compared with a lot of people who are building the business, honestly, I can tell you that many of them have got better background than me. Many of them are more capable than me, more equipped than me, better connection compared to me. But I'm more hungry than them. So when I say that sometimes, right, if like today, right, because I'm considered quite established, at this velocity starting point, I may not be as exclusive as some young guys who are coming up today in the market. Are you getting me? And this guy that's coming in the market today, they could be completing $20 million in 7 to 8 years. Probably it's not in this room yet. That's why I say that, right? This is a piece of information. If you are able to translate the really what do you call it, the insider opportunity, like 7 and 10 years down the road, you'll see a lot of major difference. Okay, we have about 7 to 8 days to the launching on the 1st of July. So this is new to every one of us because it's not launching. Right, the official launch date will be 1st of July. Right, so everybody, either you start then or you start to prepare right now. Right, opportunity always goes to those people who prepare themselves early. That's why that tonight, right, I want to spend the time, even though it's Friday the 13th. Right, I want to turn unlucky to become lucky because it's a life-changing opportunity. So what to do now? Right, so much information. Right, I think more practical one is that, can you tell me and summarize it and what should I do right now? What to do? Right? So I think it's very simple for every one of you, right? I think by now you realize that you understand about the whole velocity program. The first step you can do is that, and you can enroll now for free because it's free anyway to join as a distributor and affiliate, right? To start to grab the pioneering opportunity because by starting early, right, you have better advantage, of course. Because anyway, it's free, like nothing to lose. Right? Second step, right? If you are more aggressive, right? Not only that you realize that you started to become a distributor, right? You started to qualify for executive, so they can maximize your income. By the time the velocity program launch, right, you have 5 to 40%. Instead of today, you realize it's 9 to 20%, right? So the positioning is very important. Everything is about timing, right? And for just like many of the opportunities appear in front of me in Newsfeed, right, I view it a little bit different compared to a lot of people. So my result is a little different. Right? It's a little bit more aggressive. Right? What you can do is that you start fighting for Ruby. Why? Because when you have Ruby or the 5 executive, you start to build the Ruby structures and eventually become Blue Diamond, so that your 10% and 15% line to become faster. Are you getting me? Right. So this is the open information today. Right. I already show you the real secret behind it. Right. The last part is that whether you want to do it or not. Right. It just matter is equal to everyone, and company is very kind. Right. At the same time, when you're fighting for Ruby, they still give you a free complimentary trips to Tokyo. Right. I mean, for me, I was never interested. In fact, next week, 2 years ago, I decided to cancel it. I qualified it, I cancelled it, I still have to pay the money. But I'd rather not go. I paid $3,000 plus for it. I don't go for the trip. Why am I telling this thing? It's not trip. It's a business. You understand what I mean? Right? So, New Skin is kind while you are building the business. At the same time, they give you free trips if you want to go. Next month in May, team lead trip, we're going to Hawaii for 10 days. Now I've cracked my head right now. See which, I was looking at the schedule, which important meeting, got meeting one, then I go. Then the rest of one, go to beach one, I don't want to go. Because you got to go to the beach, right, you can go to any beach, right? There's no difference. Now it's racing against time, right? This is how I think. I'm a little bit different because I don't think like a consumer. I think like a business builder. Right? Time is very important. Anyway, right, when you fight hard enough, this is a company that they are willing to reward you. Okay. For some of you are building a business or you intend to build a business, I invite you for our convention. Our Southeast Asia convention is called New Skin Live in Singapore anyway. Right, of course, in July 13 and 14, right, I will see you there, of course, and of course we are able to witness the whole Southeast Asia success story and many of the new $1 million record members. Okay, I find that for New Skin business, right, I find that this is a business that can really make life meaningful. You agree with me? Right, MLM stands for make life meaningful, not make life miserable. Right, so if not fast food, right, I think we can for 70 years. In business is to help to fulfill my dreams of success together. Because I find that to a lot of successful people, right, successful is very lonely. Some of things you realize that you cannot share. Right? It's not easy, right, for a lot of trades. But I'm blessed to be in this platform that I find that these dreams can be achieved. Why? Because we're in a sharing business. And in fact, you realize that the more I share, the better off I become, right? So I'm looking forward to the days, right? Not just becoming financially well, but at the same time you realize that this group of people, this group of successful people, we can still come together to celebrate, right? Like a friends, to be able to together for a long period of time. So this is something I realized that is the extra value that I hope I can achieve in this platform. So with that, I want to close my sharing for tonight. Thank you for your time.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, let's give it up for our president, Mr. Rayne. Thank you, Mr. Rayne, for letting us such a and opening our eyes onto unlimited possibilities of Muslim. And of course, with such an unimaginable pain, I guess everybody devices about to change today.
And so join us on Millionaire Business Opportunity Platforms. And what Mr. Rayne has said, do not miss the upcoming July convention. We have a video to give you a little snippet of what it is to come in July.
So ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be another life-changing event